Hello, sweet souls. It is DTO in the flow. And today I get to interview Heba Saab. She is the lead team mentor, studio owner at HIBS Yoga. Hibs Saab has the unusual combination of warmth and power in her teaching. Hiba's unique contemporary instructional style integrates vocal therapy, energy work, body work, kinesthesiology, biomechanics, aromatherapy, with a foundation in forest yoga to cultivate integrative healing for body, mind, and spirit. Hiba's passion is training teachers and empowering them to own their unique gifts and talents. She uses an effective blend of intuition, experience, and skill to support students to discover and fully step into their sacred role as healers and leaders. HIBS thrives on building community, inspiring personal breakthroughs, helping students establish a deeper connection to their full potential in their self, and facilitating support for people to live their lives and purpose. And without further ado, I'm going to bring on Hibs. Here we go. Hello. How are you?
Hello. I'm fantastic. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you. And let's start with question number one. So tell us about your personal journey with yoga and why is it important to you?
So I started yoga because essentially I wanted to lose weight. I had no idea what I was getting into. I just knew I hated the gym and I needed an alternative for conventional workouts. So I stumbled into a yoga class at 24 Hour Fitness, and I felt at first that there was something in there that was very interesting and also a little bit scary because it seemed like everyone was so comfortable and confident. I remember being in down dog and everyone was just sighing and relaxed, and I was struggling. I was just not happy at all. And I had this, maybe yoga's not for me, but there was something in it that I really did resonate with. So I just stuck with it once a week and ended up seeing major changes in my mindset, in my eating habits, in the way that I was talking to myself and treating myself in my own head, and the way that I was talking to and treating other people in my life. And it just ended up being such a huge part of my life and eventually turned out to be a career and where I ended up going for my purpose. I wasn't expecting it at all when I took my first yoga class.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, and I think a lot of people that have practiced yoga maybe have gone to, like in Southern California, there's the 24-hour fitness, there's LA Fitness, and they offer yoga, or even at my local YMCA, they offer yoga. So that's wonderful that it was that spark that then got you into the next question, which is what inspired you to teach?
Mm-hmm. So I ended up losing a lot of weight, and it was wonderful. Opera at the time, and I wanted to have a career to kind of do in the off seasons when I wasn't singing. And so I took a yoga teacher training thinking it would be a nice little side job. I ended up like getting this whole where my life just crumbled. My opera company went bankrupt and they fired all the singers. And then I ended up being homeless. I lost my apartment. I ended up having all kinds of life challenges with my family. And I was in like, so I moved to Beirut, Lebanon to be with my grandparents and my extended family. And I decided that I would start teaching yoga there to make money because I couldn't technically have a job there. So I just started teaching to make money kind of like as a side job, and ended up really loving it and resonating, doing it full time, pushing myself there. Just kept going on that path, ended up being what I do.
Wow. Yeah, that's extraordinary. I believe you shared with me at one point that you were a singer. I didn't know that you had like a whole opera, tour and company you're involved with. That's amazing.
Yeah, classically trained and traditionally when I started practicing.
Wow, it's fantastic. So question number 3 is, what makes your classes unique? And actually, before you answer, let's actually pull up some success stories from people. So here's Karen, and she wrote, I am new to yoga, but after one class decided it was what I was looking for to help me get in shape and learn more about my strengths. The yogis are very friendly, very helpful. The staff is fun. And then here's Desiree, who said, I used to feel uncomfortable with help or assist until I realized how valuable it is. Everyone at HIBS Studio is open, friendly, and makes anyone new to her studio feel welcomed. So that's powerful. And I'll put that up on the screen for anyone that wants to see that. Excellent. Yeah. So, what makes your classes unique?
Yeah. Yeah, when I was living in Lebanon, ended up having back injury. I had 5 hernias in my back, and it was a result of just a very intense. My soreness with attention to my core, and also ended up being in a terrorist attack where I was between sink and for about 14 hours. So the combination of those two things ended up just totally wrecking my back, and I ended up having surgery. And I couldn't practice at the level of intensity that I wanted to practice, and I was feeling like I might not be able to do yoga ever again. Actually, I found forest yoga strengthening and therapeutic, so it really met my need for challenge and doing it in a way that I dear to my body and in a way that was more sustainable for my body. I integrate the forest yoga practice now into my teaching. I also integrate a lot of pelvic floor work because I had a baby and I realized how we are connected this part of our body, and I really dove deep into the pelvic, a lot of pelvic. I also add in a lot of my music background. So we do a lot of like music, encourage my students to vocalize. We do kind of like face yoga type things.
That's fun.
And jaw work related to the pelvic floor. And I also do a lot of body work. I'm a body worker. So we basically give our students massages while they're in student with a say, shoulder injury or body work on the yoga therapy. And of course, addressing the emotional, helping trauma, because I've had trauma through the emotional as well in my healing journey. So we do hold emotional healing and trauma healing, all of that too. So it's I consider it to be yoga therapy for sure, the style that we do here, the way that I teach.
Yeah, and as you were speaking, I was scrolling through all the offerings, and it's really extraordinary what your studio has to offer. And I just saw that your HIBS stands for Holistic Integration of Body and Spirit. Love that. That's important.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so, yeah. So you spoken to this before. So question 4 is specifically about how you integrate music, and I know you in the bio when I read it spoke into vocal therapy and that you were a professional opera singer. So you have students sing, you do kirtan. Tell us more about what you do when it comes to music.
Okay, so once a month at the end of the month, we do a restorative class that integrates kirtan. So we put the students in restorative poses, bonds, and I also encourage the students to lead. So I'm not the only person leading. I'll choose students to lead, chance to lead mantra, and I'll respond back to them, or we'll all respond back. And we also do non-traditional kirtan. So we do a lot of positive affirmations, I am statements. We do Native American ceremony songs. We do Aboriginal songs. We do songs from my native homeland from Lebanon. And I teach the students how to connect to spirit through their voice using kirtan modality, basically. And also doing live music in classes. I play instruments for them during class, like harmonium, guitar, drums, bells. And I also encourage my teachers, once a week we do a play about instruments and how they can incorporate them in classes. Encourage our students to vocalize in their yoga poses. So we do a lot of singing and that kind of thing, so that the voice is integrated into the practice itself as well.
I love that. I grew up in a household where my mom was a vocal instructor and classically trained on piano, and so there was sounds and different languages, Italian and Latin, and so it's a wonderful. And I'm sure that when you sang in opera, you were singing in a variety of languages as well.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So my last question, number 5, is, so what are your upcoming events at HIBS Yoga, and what would you like to share with anyone? Because I'm in San Diego and I know you're in the Las Vegas area. For anyone that would be within the vicinity of wanting to practice yoga, because I'm sure when certain, even just tourists come to your area, perhaps they find you on Google, they just want to like get on their mat and do something. And then you have your locals that are your members, that are the dedicated yogis that are there often and a part of your true, as you say in your bio, like the community building aspect of what you're generating, I feel is really makes a big impact on people's lives. So what are some events or special things? I know you said one thing about forest yoga. So is there anything else you'd like to share beyond that event? I'll put that event on the screen so people can see it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this workshop, the forest yoga workshops with Anna and Jose. Anna is my teacher, and she's the woman who creates yoga. And it's, as I mentioned, a strengthening and therapeutic style that helps with injuries and also just generally to connect to spirit and to the body. So she's coming in March. It was her and partner Jose, who is a lot of music incorporated in her work too. And I'm also doing a teacher training starting in April. So if anyone is interested in doing a 300-hour, that's a little bit more yoga therapy focused, or that helps people with injuries, recovering from trauma and emotional healing, or just for yourself to do that work and really dive deep. That's starting in April, will be a perinatal training, perinatal yoga, that sometime in June. And you can see all of those updates on our website.
Yeah, absolutely. When I just see the drop down, you can see the 200, 300, and all the different programs. That's fantastic. It's amazing. And it looks like you also have an introductory special for anyone that wants to join. Then that's your rate for that. That's a really generous offer. And wonderful. Excellent.
Yeah, $67 for a month of unlimited yoga. And we also have traveler's passes. So if you're just passing through Vegas for a week, we have a $57 1 week unlimited. Take advantage to take classes here and experience some hands-on and very special attention in your poses.
That's wonderful. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll put your, this is for your Instagram, which happens to also be your website as well. So anyone that is interested, it's in the Vegas area. What's your actual address of your studio?
It's on Horizon Ridge and Carnegie and 2525 West Horizon Ridge Parkway, number 100.
Okay, perfect. I'll put that on the screen as well for anyone that might be in the Vegas area or live in Henderson or nearby. And I'm grateful to say that it was probably 3 years ago. Can't remember when I was at your studio. Yeah, once upon a time.
I think so.
Yeah, so awesome. Yeah. So do you have any thing to share before we conclude our interview about maybe some encouraging words for anyone that may be listening to this that might live in the Vegas area or might be visiting soon, and be able to, inspire them? Because I know a lot of people are yoga curious. As you said, you just happened to have your motivation to be in the area of like weight loss, and then you did a class, and all of a sudden that led you onto this phenomenal pathway and career. What are those ways that you feel people could possibly be open, or there could be some ability for people to get on the mat?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are needing yoga and or wanting to find a way to access their practice and to learn something new. I know when I was teaching yoga, I felt really stuck sometimes and a little bit isolated. As teachers, it can be isolating sometimes, especially working in a studio. And I open this intent of having a community for teachers. So if someone out there is a yoga teacher and you are feeling that you may be a little isolated, mentoring or support from other teachers, um, definitely come check us out. That's what we do here. And also for beginners, so that when they walk in, they're not intimidated. Because I know that not all studios are beginner friendly, even the ones that offer beginner type yoga. So we're very good. We give lots of demonstrations in our beginner classes. We give a lot of clear, effective cueing so no one feels lost. We also have multiple teachers in the class. So while one teacher is teaching, we usually have one or two other teachers that are just going around helping the students who are struggling. Definitely beginner focus support for our community teachers in particular, to them to feel supported. So definitely come check us out if that resonates with you.
Absolutely. Wow. That sounds amazing. And yeah, so I encourage anyone to visit HIBS Yoga. And again, here's the hashtag or the @ sign. Here's the website for HIBS Yoga. And especially like myself, I've taken my 200-hour teacher training, and it's such a phenomenal experience. And so, how wonderful for you as a student at one point to be able to pay it forward. And especially as you mentioned, with PTS or anything that people are working through, then yoga can like connect and calm. And as many people may know, that yoga means union, right? To yoke, to have connection. And so
Yes,
what you're creating is so
yes.
inspirational. Hmm.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well,
I'm
thank you
excited
so much.
to have you back in Vegas too. Thank
Yes,
you
it's
for this
happening. It's
time.
coming together. Yeah, it's only like a 6-hour drive from San Diego. It's not that far away. Wonderful. Well,
That's great.
blessings to you, sister.
Yeah.
Thank you.